everyone, this is Heidi coming to you from sunny Florida. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is episode 27 and today's date is January 23rd and it's a Monday. I have a very busy Monday, so I am recording this at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I play Mahjong, I'm in a tournament. Then afterwards I'm going out to dinner with some friends and then we're playing Mahjong again after that. So it's a busy day here. So I want to give everybody a warm welcome to any new viewers out there and a welcome back to my returning viewers. Today I will be talking about knitting and cross stitching. And if you'd like to see what I'm doing other than YouTube, I'm also on Instagram and Ravelry as Yarn It Heidi. So let's get going. Before I go into my finished objects and my works in progress, just a couple of things I want to talk about. One is I am co-hosting a make-along with Carla from Carla Knits Podcast, and also on Instagram as CB Crafty Girl. We are doing a make-along that started in December 1st and it's running until January 31st, and it is make anything you want, knit or crochet using either Advent minis or Scrappy minis, whatever you have in your stash. And at the end of the month, January 31st, if you post it into my Instagram hashtag as Adventurous Mal 2022 or Carla Knits on Ravelry. She has a finished thread there and also a chatter thread there. So you could post on either. Maybe you win 2 times, maybe you'll win 1. It's all the luck of the draw. So that is what's going on here. If you have any questions about it, you could comment below. And anything else, of course, you can comment about any projects or my life story, whatever you want. I'm kind of an open book. So that is all the administration that I could think about. And the other thing is, I want to talk about, because I saw everybody do it last year, about my year in review. It's very short. I'm not going to go on and on about it. But last year, everybody was doing a year review of their projects, what they did, what they accomplished, did they meet their goals. And I thought that is such a great idea that I wanted to write down all my projects for every month. And then at the end of the year, I'll see what I did. So I wanted to join in on that fun. And I wanted to see progress and to see how I'm doing throughout the year, and the good, the bad, and the ugly. So this is what I've been doing. I have a little journal here. This is a little handprint of a girl that I know that I kept, using as my journal. And what I did is for every month, like January, what I finished, February, and so on and so on. So I put this in a little journal, and at the end of the year, I tallied it all up. And this is what I got. I'm going to post a picture of my sheets, my tally sheets that I got off of Natalie from Knitty Natty. She had a great form to fill out to show what you've done through the year, a year review. So I'm going to use my cheat sheet and tell you what I did. Well, the total finished objects that I did for the year was 57. I think that's awesome because if you think about it, 57, that means I finished the project, at least one project once a week. That's great. I mean, between working and my social life and all that, I think that's pretty darn good. So out of the 57, 44 were knit projects and 13 were crochet projects. Okay, so this is where I have to cheat on my sheet. Okay, so with shawls and scarves and cows, anything like that, I did 6 of them. Sweaters, I did 4. Now in that sweater category, I made a baby dress, baby sweater, just odds and ends of, I just put that in a garment type thing, even though it says sweaters. For socks, I did 11. I think that's pretty darn good. That's almost once a month. Hats, 9. And I had other, which is 27 objects that were in the other category. I made a baby bib, I made baby blankets. I made some pumpkins, some gnomes. So it all fit into that category. So after looking at this, and when I watch other podcasters and other people that do it, they look at their stats and they see like what was going on in the year. I had a lot going on last year. I had a serious hand injury where I was out of commission for at least 6 weeks to, almost 2 months, and then I couldn't really use my fingers that good. So that affected some of my knitting. Believe it or not, even though I had 57 finished objects, it did affect, because when I see that I did 27 in other, I think I was like not focused on things. I just wanted to try something else. I wanted to do something else. I wasn't like staying focused on just bigger projects, more intense projects. I wanted to do easy, quick, and I guess that just shows between my injury and then a death in the family. So all that played into my other section of my year review, which is all those little things. I wanted to do things that were fun, things that weren't heavy, didn't take up brain space. That is what I am interpreting on my year review, because 27 is almost half of the standard things that you make, like shawls, sweaters, hats, and things like that. So the other is at least half of, or almost half of my finished objects, which were 57. So that is how I'm looking at it. I'm going to save this so next year I could compare and see what kind of accomplishments I've had, and just to see how my year went. Now my goals, I make goals, but I do it loosely because I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I don't say I'm going to do 24 socks, anything like that. It just I feel it sets me up for failure. So I don't do that. Same thing as New Year's resolutions. I don't make them. I don't want to set myself up. So I just say something like, I'm going to try harder to do this. I'm going to make an effort. And I guess you can say my intentions. And if they don't pan out, I don't feel bad because I didn't put that kind of pressure on myself. So my goal for this year is I want to be better at making sweaters. Every one I've made, I'm never really that happy with it. They don't fit the way I want it. So I'm trying to perfect that. So what I did is last year I purchased a course from Julianne from the Twin Stitches Designs. She had a course on my first sweater. I've made a few sweaters, but this one is basic, simple, and I want to see if I can get tips. What can happen if I do it her way? And I just want to see if what I'm doing is different than what she's doing, and just to do better at it. I strive for that. I want to do better in making the sweaters. I see what everybody else makes and I get jelly. So I'm like, I want to perfect it. So that is my only goal that I really want to work on. There are other things, other techniques I'd like, but I don't care if I get to that now. So that is my year in review. So I'm pretty pleased with it considering all the things I went through, and I still putted through. So I'm finding this year with the projects that I'm doing, I'm going to get into that. I was focused on just a few, so I don't have that many things on the needles, which is a shocker. Speaking about things on the needles, when I came into this year, there was another section that said, how many works in progress do you have coming into the new year? Also known as whips. And I had 6 of them. And that's not counting like this cozy memory blanket. That's a very long-term blanket, long-term project. So 6 of them. So I'm trying to work through that. And that's kind of a goal. And I'll get into more of how I'm going to try to accomplish that. So let's get going. Grab something to drink. I know I chatted. You probably already have a beverage. But now I'm going to work. Now I'm going to talk about my finished objects. Now this one I was totally obsessed with. And I'm in love with it. I am so proud of it. I show everyone wherever I go. I bring it because I was addicted and I loved it. It is called the Anthology Throw. I'll show it as best as I can here, but I do have a picture that I could show it on my bed and also like folded up on a couch. So here it is, my Anthology Throw. It is big. Like people would say to me, is it big enough? I would say yes, and then some. It is squishy. It is soft. I love this project. I love the picot edge. Oh, that's the wrong side. No, that's the right side. I did a picot. It's not really picot edge, but it has like these points. And I did block it because I wanted to be pointy at the end. It still curls a little bit, but overall, it looks, when I wrap it, you see the points. Like, you see them? Yeah. Anyway, so this pattern is from Helen Stewart. She had, every year she does this thing, Knit Vent, which I never heard of until this year. And you pay one price for about 6 patterns, and it's good for things like your minis or your scraps. And you know what, with this pattern, maybe I'll do another one. You could use a variegated yarn and just go through it. You don't have to do all your minis and, you know, do like an advent like I did, you know. And I love this project. So let me tell you about it. The yarn is from an advent I got in 2021 from Lofty Loops. And all different colors. There's no fade. I just picked day 1, 2, 3, and I went through up the ladder. And some of it has stellina, which is a sparkle, some orange. And people are like, oh my goodness, they love the colors of it. And to be honest with you, it was willy-nilly. I just did whatever, you know, came out each day. It didn't matter. I wasn't color coordinating anything. So the size I used was a size 6, 1 circular. But then I ran into a little bit of trouble. I didn't have a 40-inch wire. Maybe it was a 32. And at first, you know, you start out with a small amount of stitches, increase to about 500, fine. But then towards the end, it gets to, you increase to like 1,100. And I was like, this is no way going to fit around this. So what I did is I didn't have a long enough cord and I didn't want to have to wait. I wanted to just keep knitting and I didn't want to order. So I ended up with listening to other people doing 2 circulars. Even that was such a pain in the butt. Even splitting the stitches on 2 circulars, scrunching it up, getting it through. It really was tough the last round and a half. But if I had the proper needle, maybe it wouldn't have been so tough. But it didn't matter. I plugged through it. I put on my girly pants and I sucked it up. And I did it on those 2 circular needles because I was so excited to see what it was going to look like when I bound off and I had this circular blanket. So, and this is the result. It is gorgeous. So it's not being gifted to anybody. I'm being selfish. I'm going to put it on my couch and that's it. Let me see if I can tell you anything about it with, no, that's about it. So I highly recommend this pattern. She does line by line. Her patterns are excellent. And and I put it in my knit companion. I was addicted. So that was. And you know what's cool about it? Because there's a lot of yardage in it, I was able to enter in so many things. I'm doing a blanket along with Carla from Carla Knits. I am doing the DCS pigskin party. I put it in there. So there were so many things I could do to enter into a giveaway with that. So it was a win-win situation. Okay, that's it for that blanket. The next thing I have, this one, I'm sorry for reaching over. I think of, if you're new, I subscribe to a newsletter by the Kitchen Sink Shop. She puts out a pattern every month, the first of the month, based upon an inspiration of hers, and she gives you a free pattern once a month. It's not in a PDF format or anything like that, but during the month later on, she will put it on Ravelry for free, but I like to start it right away. It's the Kitchen Sink Shop. Her name is Garlene, and head over there. It doesn't cost you anything, and you get a free dishcloth. So this year, I couldn't wait to hear. I listened to her live. She had a live on Instagram about what her new theme is. Last year was about books growing up that she really loved. This year, it's about sweet treats. So I never heard of this sweet treat. I don't even remember the country that she talked about where it was from. I really don't know. But she gives you the recipe of the sweet treat in her newsletter and the pattern. Well, it's called Speculoos, the Speculoos dishcloth. Isn't that pretty, that pattern? All her patterns are simple to do. Using Knit Picks Dishy cotton, 100%. The color is, I think it's navy. I don't really have the band, the yarn band on it anymore because it's taken out of stash. And the size that I use is a size 5. She uses a size 3. Mine were coming way too small, so I go to a size 5. Yeah, so I start my gift knitting, or if mine get kind of stinky, I'll just take one of my dishcloths. So this is starting for the year, dishcloth number 1 for January. Okay, one more, I'm sorry, I have to reach over. I have short arms. Maybe I should just pull this closer to me. Okay, the next thing I have a finished object is Scrappy Socks. Now this took me a while. I started this before the or during the holidays, maybe before the holidays. I don't remember because everything had to be put on hold because of Advent knitting and the holidays. So this is with my scraps. I don't know any of the colors. I tried to match I tried to match all the colors to go for the most part. Some were striping, so it wasn't exactly, matchy, but close. But I did match the cuff, the heel, and the toe. I did this on 2 circulars, but is it 2 circulars? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, 2 circulars, toe up, and an afterthought heel. I'm getting to like the toe up socks. I'm basically a cuff down, but I like doing them. I'm not sure I'm crazy about the afterthought heel. They're okay. I mean, they're all right, but I still like my slip stitch and gusset. And what else can I tell you? Oh, so the cuff I do like 15. Wait, I should start at the toe. The toe is like a rounded toe. The foot part I think like 80 rows, and I did 5 colors of each color. There was 6 colors, and I did 5 rows of each color repetitively. Then I did the afterthought heel, and then I did 40 rows for the leg. I did 15 rows for the cuff, and I did a Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off for the top. But I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore because it's always loose on me anyway, and this is very loose. So maybe I'll just stick with the standard bind off. I don't know. I have to think about it. So this is it. I think I'm just going to keep these, or maybe I'll just put them in my my stash and see if I need to give something to anybody. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. And the other thing that I'm not crazy with the afterthought is I did get a little hole here. When I do my slip stitch and gusset on cuff down, I don't get a hole because I do a technique that would eliminate a hole. I got a hole. I tried to close it up as best as I can, but it didn't work. All right, those are my finished, just 3 of them because I was very addicted to the blanket, the Anthology Throw. I worked on it every day for hours. I brought it with me to places as big as it was. I just loved doing it. I think that's one of my favorite projects I ever did. Okay, so my works in progress, because I was so addicted to this one, I don't have too many works in progresses that I worked on because I was too busy with that. So I'm joining up or participating with Natalie from the Love and Stitches membership, also known as Nitty Natty. She is doing a 30 for 30, which means you work on a project for 30 minutes for 30 days. And she has a little template to check off your days. And I said, you know what? I have things in hibernation because of the holidays and the Advent that I'll work on this. So this is my Florida road trip that I'm working on. And I love this idea, 30 for 30. And I showed it on the last time I podcasted. I'm all tangled up. What's going on here? All right, it won't come out of the tangle. This is beautiful. I love doing this. This is Florida Road Trip by Really Clear Designs. For the last 3 years, they have done, it's two designers, a road trip type project where they visit a state and they get inspired by certain things of the state. So the first one was Pennsylvania. I missed that one. I could always go back and get the pattern. Last year was Maryland. I did that one. And this year it's Florida. I live in Florida. I gotta do it. So this is part of it. Okay, this is the second part of the shawl. There's one part I did that's on waist yarn. And this is the second part. Eventually it's going to connect. So, the last time I spoke, I was only like up to here. Now okay, so then I started the 30 for 30. So look how much I did from 30 to 30. The darker, the medium pink and the light pink. That's pretty good. So I'm using size 3 and 4s for this project. It's called the Florida Road Trip by Really Clear Designs. The yarn is from Baah yarns. The base is La Jolla, and the colors are pink primrose, falling in love, pink sand, and Toumaline. So let me just show you what some of the inspiration is. I forgot one of them. I can't remember this one. But this one is like Alligator Alley. So you can see like alligator back, like this, the scales of an alligator. This one I can't remember. This one, I know it's hard to see, but are palm trees, like from Palm Beach area. And this part is, she was saying something about a couple of inventors like Thomas Edison used to come to Florida and have a winter haven there, like a winter place. And they would look for, they would have a garden and look for sources to do some of their experiments. So they would use things from plants. So this is supposed to be like a garden, that section. This section, do I remember this section? Oh, Legoland in Winter Haven, Legoland. It's supposed to look like little Legos. And this part, they would talk about, one of them is from Pennsylvania. So a lot of Pennsylvania sports during their spring training come down to Florida. So this is, I think it's the baseball. I know like the Phillies play up in Clearwater, the west coast of Florida. And she was talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates where they play. And another team, I don't remember. But anyway, that's supposed to be like baseball diamonds. I don't know how it's coming out. I think I made a goof by the way, that direction. But nobody will know. If I didn't say anything, nobody would know. So that's my Florida road trip. So I'm doing 30 minutes for 30 days. Today, I hope I get to do it. I got such a busy day. From day to night, I won't get home until 9 o'clock tonight. That's why I'm recording at 7 in the morning. So that is my mystery road trip. So I've been working on that every day. Then I have a cross-stitch project. And this one, I'm getting to the finish line. It's by, let's see if I can show it to you. Hands On Design, Beach Please, all these little motifs. This was a fun project to do. And here it is. I finished the last motif. I finished the words Beach Please. The only thing left to do is a lot of little details. Back stitching. I have to make a little stars. There's just a lot of details that you can't see that I have to put in here. After that, I'll iron it and send it off to the cross-stitch place to do something with it. I think I'm going to make a pillow. Anyway, that is it. It's on a linen. I think it's 28 count linen. I'm not sure what kind of linen it is, but it's a little rougher. I guess because I'm going to make it into a pillow and it was recommended to use this linen. So I think that's what I'm going to do is put it on Yeah, I'm going to make a pillow out of it. And this is my little needle minder. That's what holds your needle while you're changing threads. You put down your needle, you put on this, and it's a magnet. And of course, it's a heart. I love hearts. So, that is it for my works in progress that I've been working on diligently. The other ones, like my coziest memory blanket, not too much. My Stephen West make-along, forget it. That has to come out. I got to get back to that. Who knows what I have to do there. So that is it for that. Acquisitions, just one. And I just love them. You have to see how cute these are. Oh, these so adorable. These are yarn cozies. You put a skein of yarn in here. And they're from Ginger Snap Fibers. And you get 2 for the price of 1. And she was so nice. And she's on Etsy. I'll link that below about these little cozy. And she threw in a mini. Isn't that nice? That makes me want to go back. Matter of fact, I went back to look for more, but I couldn't find something I wanted. I mean, she'll update more, but she always has the cutest things. So, one of them gifting, but one of them I'm going to keep. I just love them. So that is my acquisitions. Now, life, I don't have that much to report. It's been kind of slow. Last weekend, we went to see a basketball game, an NBA basketball game. And what a fun time that was. Here in Florida, the big basketball team is the Miami Heat. So we went together. We went to the arena, the FTX arena, I think it's called. And I've never been to a live basketball game, a professional live basketball game. And wow, that was so much fun. The vibes in there was so phenomenal. You heard all this kind of music going at all times. I was like, doesn't that show up on TV? But it doesn't. All this music and to keep the crowd going. And they have cheerleaders coming out at different times. Then they had, during halftime or whatever they called it, the mascots coming out with pizzas and you could try to win a pizza. I tried, I didn't get it, but that was all right. And the vibe there was fantastic. Then at one point they turn off all the lights and they tell everybody, to put up your cell phone flashlight. So you see everybody's lights going in the air. Maybe I'll post a picture. It was so much fun. I tell you, I've gone to baseball games because I'm a Yankee fan and I have fun going because I love watching them. But this was exciting and fun. It was different. And I'm a fan now, because of the action pack. The only thing is the tickets are expensive. I mean, more expensive than a baseball game. So maybe next year we'll do it once a year or something like that. What a fun time that was. So we tailgated before and we got a couple of things there. And it was just, I didn't bring my knitting because you can't bring in a bag into there. But I don't even know if I would have knitted because it was so much fun. So after that, the only downer of it, the traffic was horrendous. Coming back to where I live from Miami is very bad. But we didn't let that spoil our good time. So that was it. Yesterday, I went to the yarn shop and the week before and hung out with my friends and met a new member to the Love and Stitches membership who actually lives right by the yarn shop. So we got to meet her, and that was last year. And that's it. Went to my pool and just got to do some cross-stitching by the pool and chill out and relax and listen to a book on tape with my headphones. And that's it. So life is pretty good, and I'm not going to rattle on anymore. I'm going to end it here. I hope you all have a great week. And as always, I wish you peace and love in your life. See you next time. Bye.